Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Princess Efianana. You know when you see me on your screen, I have interesting news and happenings in Ghana. So let's get right into it. About 9 days ago, the President of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has officially launched the 24 hours economy scheme. Now, most of us might ask, what is this 24 hours economy scheme? What is it like? And what are they really going to do? Well, to my own explanation or understanding, let me break it down for you. A 24-hour economy is simply a process or a situation in which the human resource aspect of the government will be functioning for 24 hours. That is, it's going to function from morning till evening. Yes, that is what it simply means. And is this a good idea? To my understanding and my opinion, yes, it is a good idea because it is going to scrape the number one problem in Africa, which is unemployment. Now, I would want us to hear directly from the president's own speech on how he intends to do and implement this. Now, let's watch and get right into it.
In 2020 and again in 2024, thank you. In 2020 and again in 2024, the idea of a 24-hour economy captured national attention. It became a slogan of hope, a symbol that change was necessary and that it was possible. Our task now is to move from vision to implementation, from aspiration to action. This launch is not the end, but it is the beginning of a massive national mobilization. But let me be clear here. The 24H Plus agenda is not simply about extending working hours. It is about unleashing productivity, expanding opportunity, accelerating exports through well-structured, multi-sectoral and inclusive interventions. And so we would have national consultation and co-design. And over the past 6 months, the 24-hour plus secretariat under the presidential advisor, Mr. Guzitano and his team, has undertaken an extensive national engagement process. They've listened to entrepreneurs, both large and small, both formal and informal. They've listened to organized labor, cooperatives, farmers and traders. They've listened to artists, technologists, traditional rulers and religious bodies. They've consulted with diaspora groups, development agencies, investors and infrastructure experts. They've talked to youth and women's organizations, scientists and educational institutions. Alongside the private sector, the sector government ministries, departments and agencies to align regulatory, fiscal and institutional frameworks to the program. The 24-hour plus agenda comprises synergistic sub-programs that are tailored to key value chains. And you must have heard the ministers mentioning them. These include Grow 24. Now, Grow 24 is about boosting agricultural productivity, agro-processing, and food security. Make 24 is about revitalizing our manufacturing and industrialization. Build 24 is about accelerating infrastructure, construction, housing, and public works. Show 24 is about harnessing Ghana's rich creative, cultural, and tourism assets. And Connect 24 is about fixing our logistic chains, transport warehousing, ports, energy, and digital infrastructure. And Fund 24 is about unlocking innovative financing through credit guarantee schemes, blended finance, and venture capital. Aspire 24 is about building the skills of our people, our values, our ethics, and digital capacity for competitiveness. And Grow 24 is about mobilizing all sectors, religious, security, academic, and civic, for national productivity and pride. This structure ensures depth and focus, We're not attempting to fix everything everywhere all at once.
Well. Hey, John Dramani Mahama. He really wants to see Ghana move this forward. He really wants to see Ghana move to its upper heights. So guys, I jotted down a lot of points whilst His Excellency was making his speech. Permit me to use a book because these points are interesting and I want to share them into details. He said the reasons for the 24-hour economy is to unleash productivity. Yes, we all know that the 9 to 5 hours is not enough for productivity, okay? It is not enough. So adding more hours to it would increase productivity, and that is true. So let's say if you are to produce 1,000 tons of, let's say, milk cartons a day, right now with the 24-hour economy, we can produce about 20,000 to 30,000 tons of milk cartons a day. Isn't that helpful? Yes, it's actually going to increase production. And also, he stated that it expands opportunity for unoperating sectors. Yes, in Ghana, there are lots of sectors which are unoperating, which are not working because they have been dumped and they have been kept aside. But with the 24-hour economy, we'll be able to fish out those sectors which are not looked at and which has been abandoned. Okay? Yeah, it is really a good incentive. And he said accelerating exports through a well-structured, multi-structural and inclusive interventions. And he also said he was going to accelerate exports, which means our exports are going to increase, which is going to bring revenue into the country rather than imports being more, which is bringing, like debits. Okay, it brings debits rather than credits. Okay, so with he clearly stated that they didn't just get up to implement this. Okay, they didn't just get up one day to implement this 24 hours economy. They made sure investigations and interviews from entrepreneurs, both large and small entrepreneurs. They made inquiries from farmers, small scale farmers, big scale farmers, from investors, diaspora experts. Like they made a ton of information before getting this to work. Okay, so which means it is really going to help because we would actually give you more information than the people who are inside of it. So guys, he listed the visions of the 24-hour economy and there are 8. Okay, so please, like I said, I'll use my book so that I don't miss a point, okay, and I don't stutter. So please, let's get right into it. The first one he said was the Grow 24, which is going to boost agriculture production. Day in, day out, we all know we have to eat every day. We have to eat. So what's more is better than increasing our agricultural sector? Good kudos our president. And secondly, he said make 24, okay, which is revitalizing manufacturing and industries. Yeah, there's going to be rejuvenation of our industries. There's going to be like a renewal, okay? There's going to be like improvement of our industries and our factories. Okay, they won't just be operating like the old again. There's going to be new laws, new products, like everything is going to be new. Okay, and they're going to, if those that are going to be maintained are going to be maintained properly. Yes. And the third one he mentioned was Build 24. Bill 24 actually says that he's going to accelerate infrastructure, housing, and construction. Okay, we all know that yes, there are lots of constructions which has to be made in our regions, especially the hinterland, the northern region, the upper east, the Borno. You see those places where we barely go to or we barely visit. Okay, he wants to make sure that those places are well constructed with good infrastructures, just like we have in Accra. Isn't that wonderful? And the fourth, he said, Shore 24, which is harnessing Ghana rich creative culture and tourism assets. Yes, Ghana, we have rich culture, Gasa. When you go to the Ashantis, oh my God. When you go to the Ashanti region, oh my God. I mean, when it's time for their funeral displays, you would even forget that you are at the funeral, and you might even be happy. You might be happy. Honestly, I wish everyone would experience a typical rich Asante or Akan funeral, my dear, you will be clapping. You will be clapping. Okay, so the president has actually emphasized on that because he wants to make the creative culture very, very, like very open. Like when the government comes in, the creative culture, I mean, it's not just going to operate anyhow. There's going to be formality and structure. On the 5th, he said Connect 24, which is fixing logistic trains, transport, and digital infrastructure. Yeah, he's going to fix basically is the way goods are being transported and transported in and out of Ghana. He said he's going to fix like the problems in which those sectors are having. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? And the state, he said, Fund 24, unlocking innovative financing theme, credit guarantee schemes, and blended finance. Not just say everybody or every businessman who wants to start a business and do not have capital. Once the business is viable, you will get a capital in form of a credit or a loan from the government. The fifth is Fund 24, which simply means they are going to unlock the financing team, the credit guarantee schemes, and blended finance, which means businessmen and women who wants to start good businesses but do not have the capital would have the opportunity to get direct loans from the government. I mean, there are lots of creative minds which have the ability, the mental ability to come up with things which are actually going to help the country, but they are not financially stable. How are they going to implement this? Through credit. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so which means Ghana is going to explore creative minds who are ready to help in building the economy of Ghana through credits and loans. And the seventh is Aspire 24, which is building skills of the people, values, ethics, digital capacity for competitiveness. Yes, honestly, this is very important. This side is very important because a lot of us need like more insight about digitalization, about computers. I mean about right now we are dealing with AI and all of that, but most of us have no idea. But with the Aspire 24, the president has actually suggested that yes, those who want to have good ideas about technology, infrastructure, whatever it is, okay, the AIs, the science, and all of that, he's going to make it or make the opportunity for people who want to learn. I mean, if you don't build your people, who are you going to build? And the final one is Go 24, which is mobilizing all sectors, religious, academic, security, and national productivity. Guys, always just say nowhere is left behind. Nowhere is left behind. Our religious aspect, he has promised to make sure that it conforms with the norms of every religion. You know, there are certain parts of our academy that needs to be touched. Okay, the syllabus and all of that. He has promised to make sure that they are going to, take out the unnecessary things and implement the necessary things. Okay, and security and national productivity. Yes, if a country is not secure, that country cannot be a country. If a country is not secure, it's going to be a jungle. So yes, we need security. So guys, I mean, President Mahama came this time to fight and to conquer. So please, we all solidly have to, make this work. It can't just work with them alone. We all have to come together as one people and make this work. Okay, thank you guys for watching my channel. See you next time. Bye.